There we go. What's going on today, people? Tishaun the One, WrestleTalkMedia Radio. Quick note, for those of you that want to be mentioned, your wrestling promotion mentioned, or if you're a wrestler you want to be interviewed, either by me, either by one of the other hosts, we'd love to get to you. We'd love to put your stuff out there. Just inbox me, inbox Wrestle Talk Media, the page, any Wrestle Talk Media, just get to it. And we will most definitely get to you because we do want to support everybody out there and everybody's promotion, everybody's brand. You know, if you want to do an interview, you want to come on and build your brand and promote yourself, feel welcome to do so. Today, we're going to be talking about Billy Graham. Billy Graham is out there. Superstar Billy Graham is he on one. He on one. He woke up in the morning and was on one. I had the chance to really dive into this particular topic in this conversation and look at what was being presented. Billy Graham is talking reckless. Billy Graham is talking super freaking reckless. He talking noise. Billy Graham is on. He's on his gram. I'll say Billy is on his gram today. Billy Graham put out there, for those of you that are not aware, Billy Graham put out a comment and a post pertaining to Kofi Kingston and his run, his sudden push towards WrestleMania. Needless to say, Billy Graham is not in agreement of Kofi Kingston getting a push towards WrestleMania and being placed in a title shot, WWE heavyweight title shot, if you will. He's not happy about that at all. He thinks that is that's not good. You know what? Matter of fact, let me get right into it. Let me pull up here. Let me pull up Billy Graham's his comments on his personal page. I don't know if it's still there after the backlash, but Billy Graham put out this, and people were perceive this as, you know, I've been hearing people perceive this as racist. I've been hearing people perceive this as just a hater. People are saying that he's biased, you know, and I listen to people's comments. Folks are saying that, you know, he racist. Now, I don't know this. You know, these are alleged. These are comments. This is how people feel. And see, I didn't dive into this conversation or this topic right off the bat. I know. I think that was Sean that actually posted it in the Wrestle Talk Media group. Was putting it out there, but I didn't dive into this. I didn't even talk about it when it first came out. I think Sean talked about it, posted it, but I know I shared it. But people are perceiving it as a racist act. You know, they're saying that he's not. I don't know none of this to be true. You got people saying that they're saying that he's a hater. Many are saying that he's biased towards black wrestlers. I don't know none of this to be true, but I'm gonna go about. I'm gonna go about it today and see how I perceive this. And far as like the reading, like I'm reading exactly everything that he put down in the comments that he had woke up and just said this. Okay, let me read this for everybody that have not heard of what's going on. Billy Graham put, "Is this WWE serious? I turned on my computer today and went to the wrestling news sites, and what did I see? ? Kofi Kingston versus Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship at Mania. Talk is Vince is going to put the WWE belt on Kofi Kingston. Shit. You, not me, will have a 145-pound WWE champion." Now, I'm going to stop right there, people. When I came across this part, him saying that, you know, shit, we're going to have a 145-pound. Obviously, whether he's just stupid, he doesn't know, or there is that situation where, you know, he's just being sarcastic. I believe that he was being sarcastic. I don't think that he was being serious. Because, you know, we all know, you know, well, Kofi is not 145 pounds. That's a slanderous remark to just, you know, just undermine the person's talent and who the person is. That's an undermining statement. Superstar Billy Graham goes on to say, the new senior creative Dana, this must be an idea that was presented by the new WWE creative lady Dana White. Dana White. Dana Warrior. Dana Warrior is now in a creative position, from what I hear. Meltzer says she has been promoted to extremely high position. She has been on the creative and attends meetings. That's interesting. Dana Warrior being put into a creative position, and if she's behind that, I mean, hey, if Dana is pushing for a Kofi Kingston to get a push or whatnot, I would love to see an interview to really pick her brain and see, what kind of person she is. I've never heard Dana Warrior speak. That's Ultimate. For those who don't know, that's the Ultimate Warrior's wife, Dana Warrior. He says his friend Hannibal has been monitoring the Monday Night Raw's steady decline in TV viewership. Well, Hannibal, it dropped last night in Boston, Monday, March 25th. Steady decline in TV viewership predicted. Basically, okay. Let's get back to it. That's because this is all year 2020 will not come close to selling out. Basically, what he's saying is that the WWE WrestleManias, from the way it looks, they won't be selling out anytime soon, especially 2020. Let's see. He said, I would love to see Kofi at 145 pounds put his newly won WWE Championship on the line against Brock Lesnar. Great logics. One man being outweighed by a good 135 pounds. Okay. So basically, I'm not perceiving this as him just being sarcastic, because it looks like he continuously, he's fixated on that Kofi is 145 pounds. It's listed, and let me break something down to you folks. It's listed that Kofi Kingston is not 145 pounds. He's been listed at 200 plus. But that's why I'm finna get in depth on this. It's time to get in depth on this nonsense. I did my research. Y'all know I do my research, people. I did my research, and what I come to find out, and which is interesting, weight divisions in pro wrestling, to be exact. Did my research. Shout out to WrestleTalkMedia member Mr. Todd. Todd helped out with this as well. I researched MMA weight divisions. I researched boxing weight divisions and collegiate wrestling weight divisions as well. And I noticed that a lot of them, they are not the same as pro wrestling at all. Pro wrestling has its own section of weight divisions. And that a lot of pro wrestling promotions used to go by. Some keep the tradition. I know NWA keeps the tradition, but they have junior heavyweights. New Japan kind of keeps the tradition of weight classes and so forth like that. So let me define some of the standards for weight divisions within pro wrestling. Now, to say that Kofi Kingston is 145 pounds and that he's not supposed to be competing for the WWE Championship, WWE Heavyweight Championship, because he's a lightweight. Let me get this on. Let me help the people. People remember? Do y'all remember the WWE Light Heavyweight title? Yeah, the WWE Light Heavyweight title, and WCW had the Cruiserweight Championship. WWE, of course, had the WWE Heavyweight Championship. Let me break down the differences between these two divisions. And also TNA had the X Division Championship, to be exact, for a lot of you that don't know. The TNA X Division title at one point had a division as far as the weight limit. It had the weight class which you had to be a part of at one point before they banished it. Now let's get to it. For the slanders that were put on Kofi Kingston, there you go. Good old Kofi. We're gonna turn Kofi around. We're gonna turn him. Bam! We're gonna put it on my boy Kofi. Okay, just so if we do got some of them biased haters, they can see that. All right, WWE, pro wrestling. I'm sorry, pro wrestling. The weight divisions like this, well, especially WWE. The weight divisions are like this. Light heavyweight. People get it confused. Light heavyweight is not heavier than cruiserweight. A lot of folks thought that the light heavyweight meant that this is that, or cruiserweight meant that you were a skinny, puny, 100 and some pound guy or whatnot like that. That is not true. That is completely not true. Cruiserweight actually is in between heavyweight and light heavyweight. For some of you that did not understand, a lot of people did not know that. And to know, some of you that, if you're in the know, you know, great. But a lot of people did not know that cruiserweight is actually in the middle. Cruiserweight is not lesser than light heavyweight. Cruiserweight is heavier than light heavyweight. Cruiserweight is between, in certain brands, but I'm gonna go ahead and talk about WWE. And WWE cruiserweight is, of course, is listed as any weight between 170 to 205. Heavyweight can be, light heavyweight can be lower. You know, I think like 135 and so forth like that on down. You know, but light heavyweight is a lot lesser. You know, it goes down supposedly lower than that. You can look it up yourself, but cruiserweight is in fact heavier than light heavyweight. It is in between. It is thus the name cruiserweight. It's cruising along that line of you being a heavyweight or you being a lightweight. So understand that, people. A lot of folks do not know that. You know, or you can call it like junior heavyweight. Cruiserweight will be heavier than junior heavyweight. So getting right to it. Kofi has been called that, or people are like, well, why don't he go down to cruiserweight? Well, Kofi is not. He's considered by the standards. He's not qualified for cruiserweight. Kofi is 222. I think once I listened to 220, something like that. I think Daniel Bryan is listed as 219, 270, like somewhere along the lines of that. Basically, both of these guys are above 205. Thus, the 205 name, which y'all know of the show 205 that deals with the cruiserweights. Thus, the name. You have to max out at 205. If you're in between or you're 205, that's the max. You can't go heavier than 205, or you will not be qualified for the cruiserweight division. A lot of people don't understand, and like I said, some of the answers are right in your face. So for that comment coming from Billy Graham, it kind of shows that maybe he was off his rockers. You know, he was just being a bit of an asshole. But let's talk about it. Let's get to some of the conspiracies and some of the controversy that everybody's talking about. They're really getting out across there. You know, what is his real gripe with Kofi Kingston? You know, have we seen Billy Graham speak out against Daniel Bryan when Daniel Bryan won? I did my research. Correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't see any negative post from Billy Graham about when Daniel Bryan won. I didn't see any negative posts come out about AJ Styles or AJ Styles won. And some of these guys would be considered in a lower weight class or not as heavy as Kofi Kingston. Or either not as heavy as or probably about the same weight as Kofi Kingston, give or take a pound or two. So just putting this out there. There's a guy by the name of Shawn Michaels who had ruled the heavyweight division. Many have arguably said that no, this guy is not a heavyweight. They were looking at Shawn Michaels as though he was a light heavyweight or a cruiserweight. And I remember specific times of people classifying his weight as not heavyweight. So, what do we have here? What do we have? Do we have a biased man in Billy Graham? Is he biased? So, you know, and for what reason? Why hasn't he not listed or talked about any of the other guys that were given a position? I didn't see Billy Graham make a post about David Ali. Well, no, not David Ali. Mustafa Ali. I didn't see him make a post about Mustafa Ali when he was put into a position of possibly going forward to a heavyweight title. I mean, there's a lot of things that can be brought to light. You know, Billy Graham coming in, but maybe I can fall back a little bit. Maybe it's because of the standard of WrestleMania. You having a guy like Kofi Kingston, you know, that's perceived that if you look at him, you say, oh, he's 145 pounds. Matter of fact, I've been next to Kofi Kingston. I've met him before. I wouldn't say he's 145 pounds. No, he's not 145. A lot of them guys are pretty fit, pretty thick, man. You know, they got some muscle, you know, so. No, a lot of them guys are not that weight. I mean, there's a guy by the name of Mercury. A couple of guys in the 205 division, man, they do not look any bit of 205. Some of them guys look a lot heavier, but you know, in stature, some of you see them, they are shorter or they are just a little tad bit heavier or lighter. But Kofi, at one point, a lot of people thought that Rey Mysterio was still 145. Rey Mysterio had picked up weight and gained weight. I guess people be looking at it to be a massive change in weight. You can gain weight and not look, like you're just that heavy. But people talk about the camera. They say camera adds a couple of pounds and so forth like that. We get all types of stuff. But a lot of these wrestlers, they are not as light as you think they are, or that they're not as big as you think they are. You said he didn't say nothing about gender either. Gender is a heavyweight. Clarence, I gotta disagree with you right there. I mean, that gender's you can obviously see. If you ever seen Gender, Gender's a pretty tall, big guy. He's, he may not be flabby, but it's you pretty much know that Gender's a heavyweight. Now, I disagree with you with the Gender. Maybe you meant somebody else, but not Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal is a bona fide heavyweight. That's obvious. I mean, especially when he won the title, he was an obvious heavyweight. That's not even up for question. Look at Jinder Mahal when he went against AJ Styles. He towered over AJ Styles. So, and then look at Jinder Mahal when he went against Randy Orton. He was right up there, and Orton is a bona fide heavyweight. So, now, Clarence, I got to disagree with you on that one, bro. I got to most definitely disagree with you. Yeah, I got you. You said his bad. I got you. Let me put this in here in this section. Do know, folks, if you want to, the call-in number is listed as well. You can call in if you got something that you want to say. 561-424-6639. That is out there, so you can call in if you want to. 561-424. Or you can join the chat. You can join the live stream. I can bring you in. You can talk and voice your opinions that you may have. Let me get to some of the comment section. I see Clarence, he listed 212. So he said, Daniel Bryan is 212. Okay. Let me get to my guy Robert Lee. He left some comments as well. Let me get on to get to all these get to hold up. Clarence said he's mad. Robert Lee says this could be to hype up the event. You know what? It's funny you said that. I was gonna get this where I was gonna go far as my thoughts about it. I was gonna get my opinions on it. I was gonna do that. I was gonna get my opinions on it about this. He says, well, let's be honest, the plots are dumb at this time. Yeah, you're right, Robert. I feel you on this one. Now, to touch on something that Robert, what you said, so I guess I'll bring it up now. I'll go ahead and talk about it now. That's what I felt. I felt that maybe this was just a ploy to, or just to something to egg on this, the promotion towards WrestleMania, to make it really something to push Kofi Kingston, and to put more heat, get more people behind Kofi Kingston. Let Billy Graham. I can just imagine that Vince McMahon would possibly be behind this to say, "Hey, Billy, do me a favor, do something heelish. Talk about Kofi's size. Talk about Kofi. Say that Kofi's not. He doesn't have what it takes. He's a beast. Work that up. This could possibly be, something that is a work. It could be. So that's one thing I'm glad Robert touched on in the comment on that. That's something that I was going to actually say as we got more into. I was going to give y'all my exact opinions, but I think that it could be. In my opinion, I know that it might not be. It might be a promotional strategy or not. But if it's not, yes, it is biased because we have seen quite a few guys that will be perceived as in a lower weight class. Shawn Michaels is one of the biggest examples I can give, and he didn't headline WrestleMania several times. That's facts. That is facts. Let me get to this. Robert Lee says, I thinking about the visual sides of championship. Well, you go for the title, you want to see the biggest athletes. Considering that. He said, I meant to say, when you go for the title, okay, you want to see the biggest athletes. I mean, but some people don't understand that a lot of these athletes are necessarily big. A lot of them are, they are at that size. Just on that TV, you might not see it. Like you got people like, man, that guy, he ain't that big, he ain't that tall, and you get beside him, oh my gosh, I'm not as big as I thought I was. You start noticing that Adam Rose is taller than what you thought he was. You thought he was a small guy, or whatever like that. And that's just the trick of television. Television can make you think somebody's bigger than what they are or smaller than what they are. You know, that's something that's facts. But this controversy with Kofi Kingston, it could be a work. If it's not a work, do we perceive it? Because I'm listening to everybody. I'm taking in everybody's figure of what's going on. People, that's like I said, what I perceive so far from the comments. I've been listening to everybody. I've been reading the comments. I've been talking to people. People been calling me. We've been talking about this discussion. I know me and Jason, WrestleTalkMedia representative, we was talking about this the other day. You know, I've heard everybody's different opinions and assumptions. Some people are saying that this seems like a Billy Graham has something against black people because he's not mentioning anything else. He's pretty much just shitting on Kofi Kingston going for it. I mean, we have no track record of Billy Graham ever posting a comment on anybody else. We don't. When Daniel Bryan won the championship at WrestleMania, when he was going, we didn't hear nothing about Daniel Bryan being in the picture. We didn't hear no negative comments against Daniel Bryan. We didn't hear anything about no negative comments against Shawn Michaels winning or getting the title. So this is pretty. It's pretty awkward. It's awkward, you know. Let's see. Robert says, well, the Undertaker and other. Okay, Robert. Oh, you losing me on that. You have to catch me up to what you're talking about right there. But yeah. I think especially like me and Todd was talking about, me and Jason Todd was talking about, we just was really getting in on what's going on and what the hell, you know, is this biased? Yes. The one thing I can say, besides, you know, from listening to everybody's comments and everybody's ideas about this particular controversy, is it biased? Hell yeah, it's biased. This is biasism. This is completely, utterly, ridiculously biased. I mean, how can you talk crap about Kofi Kingston being 145, which he was being, which I truly think that he was being sarcastic. But the fact that he went in on details of size, he continued to go in on details on size, I kind of can't take it as sarcasm. I think he actually believed. What's up, Byron? I'm sorry. I'm not gonna say Sweet Daddy, but what's up, Yum Yum? I don't even like saying that. But yeah, what's going on, Mr. Wilcox? But I cannot say he makes silly comments every few weeks to stay relevant. Yeah, he may make it, but I'm talking about his comments against Kofi Kingston and how ridiculous it seems and how ridiculous it actually is. It is one thing I can say for facts that it is a biased comment because we have seen countless of other people, especially one which is mainly Daniel Bryan. I mean, he wasn't really talking about Daniel Bryan in this one, but I mean, the only way he got around talking about Daniel Bryan is because of the way he's talking about Kofi Kingston. And if anything, Kofi Kingston will be perceived to be heavy or bigger than Daniel Bryan. What are the odds of that? Like, what do we have? What do we have here? Let me get to some more of the comments. Robert says you have stopped seeing since athletes in wrestling the size of Undertaker and Stone Cold and others for the championship. You're starting to see these more than Robert. If you want to come on in, Robert, I add you in, hit the invite, man, and I'll add you on into the conversation, Robert, and we can talk more about this. So you can get your points across, or y'all do see the number, right? I'm gonna repost the number. I'm gonna repost the number so you know for those that do want to actually call in. I'm finna go post this number and put this up here for everybody because I know some people want to talk. They want to get their point across, and we will let that happen. For those that don't see, the number to call right now is 561-424-6639. That's 561-424-6639. It's right there in the comment section below. Matter of fact, I will pin this bad boy. I'm going to pin it. Pin it in the comment. There you go. It's pinned in the comment section right there. All right. For those who want to call in, you want to talk, or you want to come live, just hit the live button, hit the invite button, request to go live, and I will bring you on up in here. Clarence says, Brock had his best matches against smaller wrestlers when he mentioned Kofi wrestling Brock. I enjoyed Towards the end between Brock and Bryan, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed Brock versus AJ Styles. So I'm rocking with it. But I enjoyed Brock versus Roman Reigns. So yeah, I mean, it's just me. I've enjoyed most of Brock's matches. I enjoy Brock versus Goldberg. Like it depends on, because it's with many different wrestlers. It depends on who they're actually wrestling and what day it is. You know, you never know how somebody's feeling, if they're hurt or whatever like that. But like I said, Robert, if you want to come on in, I can go ahead and bring you on in because I do want to hear your point completely across. And I'm going to let also my co-host, Jason, in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Jason Todd is in the building, so I'm going to let Jason Todd come on, especially right after Robert. Robert being added to the conversation. What's up, Robert?
What's up, brother? What's going on, bro? Now, what I was saying was, I'm a semi-wrestler fan, and I do enjoy it. But, the thing that I was
surprised about that. I was surprised. I didn't know that.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, the point I was making was, it's just like when you look at boxing, what I see now with the WWE, you're going with the more, and there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not knocking the lean athletes, but it's just like, when you go for the heavyweight championship, it's just like in boxing. You wanted to see the 200-pound, you want to see 230 and above, the big men go at it, to actually see in a championship match. And it seems like after you lost The Rock and Stone Cold and all that, now you're starting to go to the more lean athletes. It's, nothing wrong with Kofi. I'm with you on that. Nothing wrong with Kofi. I think, dude, like I said, I think it's a little hype, and if it is biased, you need to get his ass, somewhere to sit down. But, I think it's more of, if everybody wants to see the big athlete. You know what I'm saying? They want to see the Undertakers. They want to see the trees fall. It's the fast-paced wrestling. We want to see the old school. The big trees fall. How do you see it?
Well, you talking about Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan type of bulky type guys.
Yeah, the Rock and Stone Cold, and I don't know. Now, maybe you can address on me. Now, I'm an old school fan. What happened to the blood in wrestling? Where you used to get the cuts across the top of the forehead, and I mean,
that's
the Mid-South Coliseum.
Yeah, that's when the policy started really cracking down on them. So yeah, they had to. I can get into displaying that probably after the show. It got a lot. It's a lot different when you tune back in. They be like, where's the chair shots and where's the trash man thrown into the ring? What's going on? Yeah, you won't see most of that anymore. That's kind of gone. But I see your point now. People, their ideas of bigger guys going for that. They used to the tradition. Most time is bigger, but most time it wasn't. But a lot of times it was. Like people like the size of Jerry Lawler. Jerry Lawler was no big dude, but he, far as in size, he may have stretched up to like 200 and plus 200. But people
about 230.
Ric Flair was a lot heavier than what people thought. Ric Flair used to be. He was real big at one point. Sting and so forth. A lot of them guys toned down as they got more active, and a lot of times. You may see a wrestler come onto the show. They come onto the program. And they come in as a big jacked up monster, and all of a sudden they start slimming down a little bit. That's because they're getting active. You look at Batista. When Batista first came in, Batista was the biggest swole thing that you ever seen. He was like, whoa, But when they start wrestling, all of a sudden they get busy, and a lot of times they can't keep up with that diet, and they don't have the same workout facility. So
and they had different cities and stuff like that. Yeah,
different cities. You don't have the same workout facility that aids you the way and participates to your weight. And then a lot of times you ain't eating the stuff you want to eat. I think we saw some type of we had a little view of this on ride along. You would see something they would stop somewhere. They want certain foods. Like I need this and this because they're trying to keep up with that size. Somebody that is keeping up with the size pretty good is Big E. that's a big short stocky man. That dude is about he's like a brick.
Like Bray Wyatt, the thing now, like when I was talking about the plots with Bray, when you have the Bray Wyatt, you know, the sickness. My thing is, I'm old school wrestling. When Bray Wyatt and them came on, when he was doing the crazy, the out, that what I kind of like. You know, the sick. You have to come up with a plot. It just seems like the plots now are just not really there anymore, man. You know, it's more of a clownish thing.
Kevin James just said it best. Kevin James said it's more geared towards entertainment than storytelling, if that makes sense. Now, it's funny that usually wouldn't make sense, but to me, I think I can chop that up.
Okay.
It's geared towards just entertaining. Far as look at my hand, look at my hand, look at my hand, look at my hand. Now I'm not giving you no reason to why my hands are doing this. Now, if I was giving you a story, to why my hands are doing this, I'd be like, oh my gosh, this woman came here, cast a spell on me. Oh, my hands. I would have told and showed all of that. But now I'm just doing this, and you're like, what the fuck is you doing? And I'm like, hey,
right.
That's your attention. So, Kevin James, I completely understand where you're going with it. Now you can tell me if I represented your point accurately. If I didn't, I apologize. But I think that's what I'm picking up. Oh my gosh, we got a lot of comments to get to. I will begin to all you guys' comments. Let's see. Did I miss? We missed quite a few. Somebody else gonna have to read all these comments. But
yeah, you might have to do a part 2 on this one, because I mean, believe it or not, it's a lot of people out here that are true wrestling fans, and I think what has happened. I think another thing too. After The Rock left, I think there was a thing. I don't know. Maybe you could tell me. I think the WWE tried to kind of put a wrench in a lot of these wrestlers' plan, because I think that's where the storylines left. Because once The Rock got so big, he had to actually leave. You know what I'm saying? He had to leave, because I mean, he couldn't do nothing else in it, because his brand had become so big. So I think what they're doing is they're not letting the brands of these individuals grow beyond WWE. You know, they don't want their brand to get outside of it, where they're constantly losing rights. Because like I said, you lost, at one time Stone Cold was acting for a minute. You saw what's his old name? You Can't See Me. What's the boy name? John Cena was finna roll. But all of a sudden, you saw John Cena, come back. I don't know if it was the acting career, or I don't know if it was a contract issue with WWE. That's why I say I think the plot lines now are just so.
This helps out for a great segue to all wrestlers that I do know personally that want to be a part of the movie. Quite a few wrestlers are already a part of the movie now. Fear Zone, the Flesh Crawl movie, which is Salon. It's a lot of movies that we're doing right now currently that can help increase your career wherever you're going right now. Try something different. Get into that lane which will build and help build and create your brand a little bit, or transcend your brand a little higher than where it is. Hey, also big shout out. Something I did mention to a lot of the cast, that we got a couple of famous people that'll be jumping on board into the movie. So it's getting there. So just nice little segue into anybody, all my wrestlers, to wrestling promotions, anybody that wants to have a shout out or have a mention, or they want to come on and be interviewed, something that can help actually promote what you got going, please inbox me, WrestleTalkMedia, the group, Jason Todd, anybody that's in that nature. If you want to come on and be interviewed by any of us, or you want us to mention your product, your promotion, your show, your event, we will do it. Just holler at us, let us know, and we'll bring you on. You can have controversial talks just like this. But let me get to go ahead.
Yeah, I think Billy Graham. I think Billy Graham. I think he's trying to stay relevant in the industry. Just talking. I mean, you out of the industry right now. You're not really doing anything. You're not working for WWE. They didn't put you in no executive position. So I think you're trying to keep yourself relevant. Like I said, it could be hype forward. Like I said, Daniel Bryan and Kofi. Yeah, it'd be a good little championship thing. But like I said again, you're not really taking it to the next level. I mean, once the Undertaker left, you trying to do it with old boy The Rock. I think that's his cousin, ain't it?
Roman Reigns. Yeah.
Roman Reigns. And they trying to bring Roman up, but I don't think Roman can fit that bill either. I don't think Roman's going to be the next Rock. I don't see it. I don't see it in his face. I don't see it. I don't see him being the next Rock.
Considering the PG era of things, that seems to be the biggest issue for a lot of people. Which in hindsight, you're really having an issue with, like when you talk about the blood, you talked about all that. That's the PG era is what you have to blame for that. Okay. Jason Todd, WrestleTalkMedia host, put that in the comment section. He was saying that Linda went into the politics. She went into now she's part of the White House now, to be exact. She's part of Trump's cabinet. So she had to clean up her image and the company's image as well. So they went toward they geared more towards PG. So that's why you don't see a lot of that you were seeing before. That's part of the things that contribute towards that. So that's business. It's business 101, people. That's business.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they're still making money. They're still making money. Yeah, there's plenty of money in it. But I said with old boy, I think it's more. I don't think I didn't. You read it. I don't see anything racial in it. I don't think because he can't say you done had all men of color of the championship or whatever. I think he's just running off at the mouth. Going back, like I said,
can it be a racist line to it because of the fact that he's not acknowledging anybody else, such as Shawn Michaels, who was not your traditional big man. He was not even nearly remotely a big man. He was a smaller guy. Think about it. Let's go Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold Steve Austin, WrestleMania.
Right. I got an idea. Let me throw this out at you. Do you think it's because when we talk about Shawn Michaels and this, do you think Kofi has really promoted his style big enough to actually be going for the championship? When you think about Shawn Michaels.
Well, considering that Kofi is a go-to guy, he's always been able to be a go-to guy. Like if you needed somebody to do a high spot to get the crowd pumped, Royal Rumble. Whether it's a ladder match, he's been a go-to guy. So he's always been in a position to be catapulted to that area. I mean, we saw it when 2009, him and Randy Orton had their match. When he went for the title, people were completely bought into it. So it's not something that's just it's not saying it's like not just throwing like Apollo Crews out there and saying Apollo Crews put him in. No, Kofi has had that. He's had the people's eye. So we can't get over that. Now some of us might not like Kofi, might be like, I don't see it, but facts is facts. And if you check your history and you look on his resume and you look at how the crowd wants to react to him and look at what he's done with New Day and the popularity he spawned off with New Day, he is considered to be. I mean, you cringe at it, but if you look at New Day and the waves that they made. New Day is the biggest group that WWE's had since D-Generation X. That's a fact. They transcended. Now, some may say, well, what about the Shield? No, they transcended the Shield at one point. Look at the merchandise. I mean, New Day was killing it. They got a cereal box. They got their own brand of pancakes. They got, literally, New Day had transcended a level. They were able to be comical, heels, for the kids. They was able to be in several different lanes and be more represented. Okay. So New Day was completely over to the point where they transcended over into video games. So let's keep it real. New Day is the biggest group that they've had since D-Generation X. They've crossed barriers to the point where you had folks and other brands talking about going to war with the New Day. They weren't talking about going to war with the Shield. They were talking about going to war with the New Day. So we have to give New Day, a lot of people don't like to give New Day their props, but you cannot deny New Day of being one of the top factions that we have seen in a long time. They transcended the Wyatt family. It's facts, people. Y'all can look it up. You can check out their numbers. They did this. So this black group went to a level that many haven't been to in a long time since D-Generation X. The Nexus didn't have it. Let's keep it real. New Day. So when we talk about Kofi Kingston's star power, we cannot underestimate him. You said other than the Usos, not the Usos didn't. No.
Yeah, I go with you on that. Now,
Yeah.
don't even mention
Not
the
the
Usos.
not the Usos. The Usos didn't have either. I mean, because there were times Usos come out that they was always flatlining. You know, it was a lot of flatlining with the Usos. New Day, I've never seen the crowd not chant New Day rocks. Never. Or New Day rocks or New Day. I've never seen them not react to the New Day. I've seen them not react to the Usos. I've seen that. So just being 100 with it. New Day is that group, whether you want to acknowledge it or you don't. So,
What you think they're trying to do with Daniel Bryan?
they're doing what they can do.
So what now?
They're doing what they can do with Daniel Bryan. I mean, pushing him as a legit. I mean, taking him using him in that main event spot. They're doing the right thing with Daniel Bryan. I mean, perfect to me. They're doing good with him. I mean, what else would you want them to do with him? I mean, he's doing a damn good job at being a heel. I watched some of his interviews. He was on a news station, and he did an excellent job.
Man, I like I said when you read it, I said I think this is more to hype it up. I don't think people are really behind the show like it. I don't think this event here. I don't think it's got that much hype behind it. I don't know. It's just I feel it that it's not. It's WrestleMania. It's gonna make money, but it's not one. I don't think it's gonna be a classic. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it is. I just don't see the classic behind it. And I think what's happening now, that's why I said you got to go PG. I understand you and the other brothers, y'all a little bit deeper than I am. But I think what they're going to have to do with WE, they're going to have to redo the plots a little bit. You're going to have some, stretch it as far PG-13. At least instead of having PG, at least get it up to PG-13.
That's what they were. They were at PG-13. That PG-13 was what you remembered in the Attitude Era.
Right.
But it was PG-13. Sometimes they would have the moniker of something else up there as well. But yeah, they were PG-13 at first. So that's what they had to get away from was PG-13.
You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. The like I said, I just missed the Stone Cold, the being there upside the head, man. I just miss it. I used to always have that joy to see. I used to have that joy seeing them come in all the time like that. With Stone Cold, The Rock, and all that, The Undertaker. That was my joy of it. And I'm getting it. And I think it's too many. I know that some of the true wrestling fans are gonna get mad at me about this, but this female stuff, y'all pushing this female stuff. I can't get into the female stuff. I just can't. It ain't. It just ain't.
Well, I'm gonna say this. A lot of times, I get what the WWE's doing it for more of a statement, a political statement. They're jumping on the bandwagon of that.
Right.
And a lot of us, as far as wrestling fans, we can complain and say, we've seen other promotions already do this. We've seen women headline TNA and so forth. But WWE's now doing it. It's more of it's around the Me Too movement. It's more of a women empowerment. So I get what they're doing. Do I like some of the storylines and how they're pitching it? I don't like their way of doing it. Because it was a lot of pussyfooting going along. A lot of pussyfooting going along with the push of this whole build towards the women's main event match at WrestleMania. I don't think that it should be made as though to me. I don't feel like it should be made as though a big deal continuously. With the women's wow, the first time women's like, oh, no, it's not okay with the women's tag team titles. That was not the first WWE women's tag team title.
Right.
I did not understand that. I did not understand it at all. A lot of people forgot. WWF had women's tag team titles. They just defunct. They dropped them. But they're doing this. It's the first ever women's not the first ever women's titles. Like no, y'all did this already before. You just didn't make it a big deal back then. get the first. This the first step. Like, okay, we get it, but I don't think it should be made it should be posterized like it's a big deal about it. I think it should be pushed off as the normal. Make it a normal. When you make it an odyssey, like, oh, the first this, like, no, just do it.
Right.
Just do it and represent
right.
it as that. I would not. I mean, but I guess business wise, if you want to tell the world that it's the first, but it's technically not the first, but we'll count it as such.
I think what's happening now, I think, like you said, it's a transition now that's going on. It's business. McMahon, he's going, he's getting up in age. He's finna turn the reins over. And I think what's happening now, I see, for me, I see it when I do watch it, it's like they're grabbing at straws. It's there. I think that somewhere in the boardroom, there's some issues. There's some viewership issues. There's some money issues going on. Not saying they losing money, but I'm just saying it's like we're grabbing at straws now. We got to go somewhere with this. And like I said, you're trying to bring the women in to get more, the woman involved, that involved and stuff like that. But I think they're grabbing at straws. I think they are. Nothing wrong with coasting with the championship that's going on. Like I said, Randy Orton, those guys are dying out. I don't know. I just don't see those guys coming back. You're trying it with Roman Reigns, but it's not working. You tried it with the Shield, it's not working. Bray Wyatt, the Wyatt family.
With Roman Reigns, when we talk about Roman Reigns, it's the when you're trying to live them up to the PG era. You're playing them down. You're not. You got to understand that a lot of these people are not being utilized to their fullest to the best of their abilities. Because if you're a follower of Roman Reigns, if you've seen his work when he played a heel in Florida Championship Wrestling, the FCW, the developmental and some beginning parts of the NXT, he played an excellent, not an excellent, but a real decent good heel. It was some things that he could bring to the table. If they let him be him, let him cut loose. But you got to.
I think he's trying to have another sex symbol. I think they use him as a sex symbol. Trying to, they use him as the cute, tough guy, the sexy dude that, he's still the tough guy, but that's what they're using him as. I think that's his role. Like I said,
they've been as safe as they can within the guidelines of being PG. They've been as safe as they can. Like I said, they're not using. One thing that I can understand people's complaints, they're not using a lot of these guys to the best of their potential. Some of them they are, some of them they aren't. They use New Day far as to the PG era the best of their potential. They got them over. A lot of times New Day will make comments that were edgy and so forth like that. They do it ever so often, but Roman Reigns is an example of somebody that they poorly use to the best of his ability. He's not being used at the best of his ability, and that's by way of PG. But back to Billy Graham, as you were saying that maybe it's feel that maybe he is. This could be, when you were saying maybe this could be just a ploy to
hype it up.
Yeah. Some that needs to be noted. Billy Graham has went on record he's been trying to get a job with WWE. He's been trying to get employed with WWE. So I can see this being something that WWE has contacted him about and asked him to make a very controversial, neat comment against Kofi Kingston.
Right.
So this could very well be that. But like I said, I look at it on both sides. If it's not, then yes, this was a biased comment. It was very biased because if you're gonna say this about Kofi, then you never said anything about Daniel Bryan, and you didn't say anything about AJ Styles, and you didn't say anything. Well, definitely, I don't recall it ever in the history. As I re-looked and researched, he didn't say anything negative about Shawn Michaels. So how can you make these comments about this guy here, Kofi Kingston, and you haven't said anything about the others? We could say Shawn Michaels. Well, social media. He could have just done an interview and talk shit about Shawn Michaels. So because people always say, well, the internet wasn't around. The internet wasn't around. He could have said it in magazines. He could have talked shit. Like it would have been posted, but he didn't.
Blogs, whatever. Right.
So
And here's my thing too. I look at while you was thinking about that. I had almost lost my train of thought. It was you when you look at when a guy like that is, like you say, it's hype. You trying to get into the wrestling. You trying to get into it, but I think what is happening now. Do you think they're going to change Kofi's image a little bit if he wins the championship? They're going to have to change his image because if he becomes a champion, is he going to take on the role of the people's champion? You know what I'm saying? The good guy, the eat your cereal, drink your milk type of, or is he finna become a heel? Because he's going to break away from New Day. I'm the champion now. You're going to have to change his image because is he going to be the happy champion?
Well, I will
Because,
say this.
you know,
It's basically what you're talking about is the end of the road or crossroads of like Edge. What happened to Edge when he broke off from the Brood and then broke him and Edge and Christian broke off. It was more now we had to go into him because it was like, well, what is Edge gonna do? Like, is he gonna be this guy or that guy? With Kofi Kingston, honestly, I don't have that much faith in Kofi holding up that title. You know, the hype is there. Because the reason why I don't have, bear with me, especially black people across America. The reason why I don't have that much faith in Kofi Kingston. For real, I don't have that much faith in Kofi Kingston holding up, you know, that title to the biggest of abilities or whatever like that and just being the guy. Because for one, like I said, it's the PG era. You know, will they consistently let him, you know, excel in heights as far as his attitude, his demeanor, you know, and AJ Styles, when he turned face, because he was crooked first before when he got the title, you know, but if he was face, it would have been just him in a kind of a stale situation. Like right now, AJ Styles when he was when he had the title as a face, it was kind of stale. It was like, oh, this is the guy, the house, the AJ Styles. Yeah. It's like, okay, but with Kofi Kingston, he's coming in fresh off this New Day, you know, type of stuff going. So it's like, okay, what kind of champion are you finna be? Now, if they're pushing, and I'm gonna coin the phrase of bring up DX again. If they're pushing New Day and letting them be, which this is something that me and Jason Todd talked about. The one thing I didn't like about this push that they did with the push with Kofi Kingston is that it was too many opportunities that they missed on this one. Kofi not once. Think about this now. In this whole push, Kofi did not once snap. He didn't call Vince out. He didn't jack Vince up. He didn't do not a damn thing. He played like a pussy. He got treated like a boy. He got owned every time. You would never saw Stone Cold be on some shit like that. You would have never saw The Rock be a punk like that.
Right.
You wouldn't have saw CM Punk go out like that.
And that's why I asked the question. That's why I asked the question.
And CM Punk is the same guy that got his ass beat in UFC back to back. Got to demolish. You know, but I'm just saying as far as characters, you would have never seen these characters continue to get their ass kicked. Kofi has shown that he will snap, that he will get real. Once again, if you don't believe me, when he went at it with AJ Styles, when he was going up to the gauntlet match, AJ was like, oh no, Kofi, give up. Kofi said, what are you talking about? This is my opportunity, this is my chance. He got in his grill. Kofi made you feel like he's about to beat the living hell out of AJ Styles. Right. So he can get real. Kofi is capable of getting real. But I do not have any faith in Kofi Kingston holding this title because I know pretty much from the looks of it, just from rating it how it is, WWE will not. They will not let him off the leash, let him get off the chain, let him be him, let him test the waters. They will not. The reason why I can also continue to say this is because look at what happened in this run. Look at what just happened. Vince did everything deceitful and spiteful Vince's character did everything deceitful and spiteful towards Kofi Kingston. Not once did Kofi go down there and whoop everybody's ass. They gave Kofi Kingston the Daniel Bryan run.
Right.
Stopping it. He didn't, matter of fact, They gave him the Daniel Bryan run, but he didn't even do the Daniel Bryan run to the top of his ability. They didn't hold up Raw. Well, I'm sorry. They did. They held up SmackDown. Just like it was a threat. We will stay out here all night. When Daniel Bryan said, "Hey, I'm finna occupy the whole area. Ain't no show finna happen. The crowd finna be out here. We finna basically hijack Raw." But look at what happened to Kofi. Kofi lost Elimination Chamber, Fastlane. Also, several times on SmackDown, he got played with, he got hoodwinked, bamboozled. It happened to him several times. And then he got disrespected, back being called a B plus, and Vince tricking him, playing with him. Oh yeah, you're going like he kept playing with him. You mean to tell me this black man is not gonna snap on him? And every behind the scenes situation, he's sad, or he'll be like, "Don't worry." Then when the New Day members were saying we finna quit, when Xavier and Big E Langston was saying we finna quit, man. Let's leave. Kofi's the one that is the voice of reason after he done got bitch made. Mm-hmm. I don't believe that.
I'm gonna throw something out here too. Do you think that what they're doing is we got to have a black man going for this championship? We got to have a real man of color. You know, I know Roman Reigns supposed to be Samoan and this, that, and another, and mixed it with, but do we need a real man of color to go for this championship? You know what I'm saying? So we can say to the black audience, okay, we had a black man go for the championship. If he win it, he win it. If he don't, he don't. But at least we can say that we didn't had a black athlete to go for the championship. You know, I know we didn't had it before, but I mean, you know, for this generation, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what they're doing. Folks inboxing me. But I'm going to end it this way. I just had that thought in my mind. Like I said, with him doing that, like Brock Lesnar, you not going to let Brock. See, Brock is that type of, that old school wrestling, and they trying to bring him back to keep the hype going. But you can't really put Brock into where he needs to be, and like you said, turn him loose, because then you lose in that PG-13. That's why I say I think WWE is going towards a more leaner athlete. The storylines are not going to be real big plots. I think it's going to be, like you said, like one of the comments, it's going to be more entertaining now. You know, and with the ladies in there, I think that's about it. I don't think it's going to go anywhere else unless you get new writers in there to do new plots, to come up with new schemes, and you try to push the envelope.
There's a lot of things hindering WWE from doing what we once remember them doing. Because I'm fast forward backwards to the Attitude eras and maybe the Federation era. Or the Nitro eras. I'm gonna fast forward back there. You know, right now there's too many investors that's in a part of WWE. There's too much politics going on, as far as within literally in American politics that plays a factor, and it's kind of hard for it to even go that route. Is WWE in a position to, like, people talk about AEW coming up, the new promotion that's being presented now, AEW, which is making big waves. Is WWE in position to deal with competition? I say no, because it's a better standing for promotion now, because you said Undertaker, Randy Orton, a lot of them guys is out the door now, and anytime another promotion would come into the picture, WWE, they had an arsenal of people they can bring back. They had Stone Cold, they can call Stone Cold, come on back, Rock, come on back for a run. But now these guys are pretty much dead. All right, Vince, I ain't Stone Cold say, I'm not busting my ass. What Stone Cold say? I'm not busting my ass no more. You know, I broke my back and my hands frozen and all this. I'm not done. Damn it. No, I'm done with it. You know, he's done. You know, so Vince and them, they can't call all these folks, you know, because like when TNA was running, Vince and them did something excellent. Like when they brought Booker T, Ric Flair, Hogan, okay, WWE said, okay, cool. Rock, Stone Cold, Brock Lesnar, they started bringing everybody. Okay, we got Triple H, we got all these folks too. So, you know, we're able to really put some heat up on you. But then Now the times have changed. A few more years later now, another promotion coming in and they buying up on the talent, bringing all the talent to the part. WWE ain't really got those people no more that they can utilize. You can't. They gonna go to the Rock again. Hey Rock, come on back for a run. Help us out here. Rock gonna be like Vince.
Right, go back to me. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. I believe that's what they doing. And for me, like I said, I think that's what I'm gonna let other folks get in. But I think that's what it is. I think this is more to hype up the WrestleMania. I don't think it's any bias in it. I don't think anything like that. I think what's going on now, you got a black athlete going for the championship. That's to take care of a crowd that you got, so you can say, hey, a black man that went forward. But I think also, personally, myself with WWE, I think they're grasping at straws. I think they have some issues and some problems with talent. They can't, like you said, you can't utilize the talent like you used to. Like Samoa Joe, he's getting that's getting old. Samoa Joe, he getting that. You bring him out every now and then, but he's not going for any championships. He's not doing anything. You tried
I mean,
the big.
now Samoa Joe, he is the United States championship.
Yeah, but
right now.
He's not. You're not going to take him to the WWE heavyweight championship. You're not going to take him up there. You're not. You like I said. I think they're grasping at straws. I think they're losing.
It's funny you mentioned Samoa Joe, because Samoa Joe is super well beyond seasoned to be in that bracket right now, the heavyweight bracket. Like he's supposed to be going for that title right now. I mean, the guy, he can cut a damn convincing promo. He can give you a damn good match.
Right.
And he's believable. Why he's been bullshitted on?
Like I said, it could be some contract issues. Like I said, there's just something going. It's something going on, and they pushing and I'm not saying against any of the women that's on your live. I'm not going against the women, but you're pushing the women too much. You always. I know you got to get it out there, but to me, that's telling me something. You keep pushing the women. What's really going on? Are you losing? Do you have the male talent that you really need to have there? Is there a transition going on? You're trying to decide which route you actually want to take. Do you want to go back to a certain era, or you really don't know which way to go? Because after this, man, like I said,
to me, it's just simply they're just basically capitalizing on something that they haven't done yet, and that's something that'll gain publicity, attention, and to show that they are equal in this company. I think it's just to cover their ass as far as that. And like I said, it's just doing something they haven't done yet. But I appreciate you, man, for coming on, man.
All right, brother.
And kick some time with me.
All right.
Y'all see it, man. Billy Graham. Now, I agree with Robert on the notion that it can be something that WWE is just pushing out there, as far as the beef up this. But like I said, being on two sides of this, if this is not that, if this is just him speaking his mind, which I appreciate him doing it, if this is him speaking his mind, then he full of shit. Because as I pointed out already, there's a thing here that doesn't look right. I mean, you got people that are obviously, and Todd, you can go and come back in now, Todd. But there are people that you can also point at besides Kofi Kingston. So to put Kofi Kingston on a hot seat, like, that's ridiculous. I mean, Kofi's not the only guy that's of that size or that stature. So I most definitely don't. I don't identify with what Billy Graham was saying. Not at all. Not at all. I do not. I can't see it. I can't see it, people. I can't see it. Adding you in, Todd. Let me see. Hit it again. I don't know what's going on with Mr. Todd. Let's see. Can I ask you one more time, Jason, to see what's going on? I don't know what's going on, Mr. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna add you on here, Mr. Todd. Bring you on up here. But this situation, man, with Billy Graham, if it is speaking in his mind, I think it's what's up. I think it's completely. Maybe he's on one. Maybe he's snorted a gram. Something that went on with Billy Graham. Uh, I don't know much of him besides being a Hulk Hogan pioneer, somebody that he feels that stole his look, or whatever like that. But
I mean, I looked at the video. I listened to what dude had to say. I looked at the tweet. I looked at as much information as I possibly could on the dude.
Talking about
with Billy Graham. Apparently, it was a video. It wasn't a tweet. It was a video that he did. It was like a short video he did on Twitter. Where he was talking about Kofi's size, like, oh well, he's a 145er and stuff like that. And if you remember when me and you talked about when I was like, well, when it comes to size, it looks odd because if you look at me, everybody that knows that I fight knows I fight in the 135, 145 division, but I walk around at 170, 185. So our shit's extremely different. Like when we looked up at how much a cruiserweight was, me growing up, I always thought a cruiserweight was like 170. Turns out a cruiserweight is like it's now 205.
Yeah,
the 205 wrestlers are now cruiserweights.
The 205 cruiserweight was actually a little heavy.
It was like what, 225 or some shit like that?
It was like,
yeah, it was about 220, 225.
And WCW cruiserweight was 235 or 235 between 220, but that was cruiserweight then. But they took cruiserweight WWE. They didn't took cruiserweight down to 205. Well, to 205 being the max out number. You can keep 100 and whatever, but long as you know now the ceiling cap.
If you ain't over 205, that means you're a little bit below cruiserweight. But I really I'm with Robert on this. I mean, I kind of feel like he was just going after Kofi because he's reaching and he's trying to stay relevant. But the shit he said was completely wrong though, because again, like you said, he didn't bring up Shawn Michaels. He didn't bring up Rey Mysterio, who also was tiny as hell. Rey was probably the littlest dude out of everybody that was wrestling back then. So you got them. You have who else was a small guy? Hell, even Jeff Hardy was small back then, and he didn't mention Jeff. And Jeff was small compared to some of the other guys.
CM Punk. We can go on for days now. Come on now.
Yeah, see, it was a shit ton of them. It's a lot of guys that were in WWE that really looked small. Hell, even a young-ass John Cena was tiny. He wasn't even built like that.
Hold up now.
Orton was bigger. Hell, even Randy Orton was small.
John has always been.
I mean, well, compared to Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman and shit like that, he wasn't that big when he first debuted. Yeah, hell yeah, even X-Pac was a cruiserweight. The Hurricane, there's a lot of guys back in the day that were small as hell. Well, and I mean, he didn't mention not one of them.
What's what Jerome's saying now? We talking about somebody that was going in the WWE Championship title match.
Yeah,
I don't recall.
X-Pac only won the Cruiserweight Championship and the Tag Team Championship. He was never in title contention, ever.
And light heavyweight.
He had a lot of drug issues and some more shit. It wasn't about putting no belt on him.
X-Pac wasn't. Now, he had a shot at, I think he won against Triple H. He had a shot at the WWE.
I got to look that up. I think he did. Randy Orton was fucking small when he first debuted.
But Eddie was a heavyweight. Him and Chris Benoit, they were heavyweights. They was up.
No, they were light heavyweight. They were light heavyweight. They were not heavyweights.
No, they were light heavyweight.
I think Eddie became a heavyweight right before he passed. That's when he became heavyweight. I think that was when, because if you look at him when he started in Dean Malenko was light heavyweight.
Hold on, people. Y'all just throwing names out there. No, Dean Malenko. We talking about folks that were going for the title. No, Chris Benoit.
No, Dean Malenko was going for WCW title, but not WWE.
He went for
WCW, not WWE though.
Was up at Chris Benoit was over 235.
Oh yeah, no, he was a heavyweight when he went for the heavyweight championship. He was big.
That's what I'm saying. They were most definitely heavyweight. So
Jericho was skinny, but he was still a bigger guy compared to some of the other dudes. Well, wait, which Jericho are we talking about though? Because you got post WrestleMania Jericho when he fought against Shawn Michaels, and then after that he looked beefy. So that's a kind of a toss up there. Jericho got like 6 different looks.
So
He got 6 different looks.
Putting it out there in perspective now, some of these people, like I said, maybe X-Pac is somebody that you can, but it really depends on what weight class, what were they doing at that time? At the time, like I said, with Chris Benoit, somebody throwing Chris Benoit or Eddie Guerrero, these guys were actually heavyweights. They were way more than 205.
Eddie was I think a solid 235 when he went against Brock, and Brock was 300 fucking pounds back then. Brock just got skinnier over time. He's still big as hell, but and like Robert said, he brought up Brock. Here's the issue with Brock Lesnar that a lot of people that's watching does not know. He owes USADA a shit ton of fucking money. For those that do not know what USADA is, that's why he's
matter of fact
doing what he's doing.
The discussion on what's going on that's in this topic, once again, I reposted the whole discussion. And if you do want to call in, the number to call is 561-424-6639. Let people up in here, let them talk about some things. But also, if you want to look in the comment section, that's the whole topic there. WWE legend superstar Billy Graham made controversial remarks towards Kofi Kingston. Would you consider his remarks that he made biased because Kofi Kingston is black? I'm hearing that side, people saying that. Or just him being a hater, that's what I really want to edge towards is he being biased because he's being black, because Kobe is black, because we haven't really seen Billy Graham talk about anybody else that some of the names we brought up. We haven't seen him talk about we haven't seen him talk about Shawn Michaels. We haven't seen him go at these folks. For one most recent time, Daniel Bryan, right? These people were legitimately in WrestleMania main events for the title. And they didn't get no criticism like that, especially from him.
Jerome. All right, Jerome. Basically, what he said was he finds it to be a joke that Kofi Kingston's going for the title when Kofi is basically 145 pounds. Why would they have a small guy go up against, a big guy or some shit like that as if Daniel Bryan's huge? First off, people do not know Kofi's about 6'3". Kofi's tall. Kofi also weighs 225 pounds. Probably a little smaller than that. I want to say a little smaller than that. But that's pretty goddamn big. Daniel Bryan's like 5'4", probably weighs a little bit more than Kofi as far as muscle mass wise, because he kind of beefed up after he decided to retire and start getting bigger and shit. But it kind of threw me off that he even came out of nowhere with that, because I'm like, all right, so we're just going to disregard the fact this dude's been doing this shit for 11 years and has been doing a phenomenal job being a mid-carder when he should have been got, a title opportunity other than just that 2009 time when he went against Randy Orton. Because if you think about it, it's the only time we can ever say he had a title shot. He hasn't had any other title shot other than that. And then there's also the other argument where, the women, when Robert brought up the women and shit like that. And then I saw on here, what's his name? Clarence said, it's easier for a black woman to be in the business than a black male. I actually disagree. How many black women do you know right now that was in WWE? Name 10. You can't, because there hasn't been 10 that was actually doing something, that was actually trying to make a name for themselves. The only ones that actually have legitimate accolades right now is Jacqueline, Naomi, Awesome Kong, who is now doing the show Glow on Netflix. She came in and just ran through people. Shit, I think that was it. Any others that you know of?
Getting back to this Billy Graham situation, now, as I can see, Billy Graham is not. Yeah, so he's not employed with WWE. So, but it is noted that there's my favorite black wrestler right there. Miss Elizabeth.
I still gotta see her. I still gotta see Wrestle live, man. I still gotta see Elizabeth Wrestle live. I've heard way too many great things about her in-ring ability. So,
but let me see. Yeah, okay. It's noted that he had been trying to be employed by them, so That is
so he's been trying to, but he's not employed at all. He's just
it's stuff that like if I'm looking up now, it's stuff that people can look up. They can actually see this as well. Reggie Jerry says the problem is Kofi wasn't made to. Don't be showing me no heart signs. We gotta read this comment.
Anytime. Oh shit, yeah, I forgot about Alicia Fox. Damn, and she ain't irrelevant no more. She's just there.
Heavyweight champion when he first began, his fame didn't get as big until the New Day and all the Rumbles. Yeah, we discussed that.
Jerome, I gotta disagree on that because we just got done talking about this not too long ago. The New Day is that team. Now, what people do not know about the New Day is that the unicorn idea, that was Vince's idea. The original idea for New Day was supposed to be black empowerment. That was the original idea. If you watch their original promos, they had the church and everything else behind them.
For everybody, it's pinned right there within the comment section. The number to call in is 561-424-6639. That's 561-424-6639. Matter of fact, hey, Liz calling. I want y'all to call. I want to hear some of these folks and what they got to say as far as people to talk about out there. Because and to Jerome, to the comment on what Jerome's saying, yeah, earlier I covered it, but New Day is New Day a lot of groups. They were the hottest group. The only group that came close to touching the popularity and fame that D-Generation X caught. So let's not. I mean, we not like their antics, especially if you're more pro black or more black attitude-ish. You know, you're not really. You were with some of the jokes, but to some of all the hipping and scopping and all that stuff, it took you away. You know,
it did throw you off because if you remember when it first got started. Yeah, because when it first got started, it was an entirely different ball game, man. It was because remember you had Xavier. Well, he was Austin Creed at the time. He wasn't Xavier Woods at the time. He was Austin Creed. He was in the ring, had a suit and tie on, was sitting there talking to Kofi and Big E, and was like, "We can do something better than
I don't know what's up with you and this Austin Creed. He was.
I told you already. I watched him in TNA as Austin Creed, so it's just there.
No. Are you talking about W? You said you basically talking about the formation of New Day. He was not Austin Creed when he formed it. He was Xavier. He had been Xavier Woods for a long time. In NXT coming on up, he was Xavier Woods. That was his name.
Oh shit, he was in NXT. Oh shit, he was in NXT, wasn't he? Damn.
Xavier Woods.
I legit forgot he was in NXT. But yeah, it was crazy because like they had this. Oh man, we're gonna do this empowerment thing. It's gonna be great. They had the church behind them. It was awesome. I was like, hell yeah, I can get behind this. And then they changed it. Because if you remember, their original colors they came out with was like this neon blue, light blue outfit with like...
Elizabeth, are you trying to go live, Elizabeth? You trying to go live with me? But they carried his bullshit ideas the best way they could and still gained notoriety. You're right, Reggie. You're right.
Hey,
you're right.
Congrats, though. Let's
see. Reggie said, yeah, Reggie, you're right. They actually did. They worked with what they had and they made it work. Because I remember they were supposed to be it had supposed to have that new domination type of feel to it, but they changed it up and made it more acceptable towards the times, which.
Remember, they kind of fell off for a hot minute too. Like when they first got started, they fell off real quick. Like they had got a few cheers here and there, and then they kind of disappeared for a minute. And then all of a sudden they came back as heels, and that's when it just blew up. You know, they in a way they kind of them and the Usos both had to do the same thing. They had to reinvent themselves.
I'm not that in the agreement that all of them should get a shot. It has to be done right. You know, my thing is I'm not all for just giving somebody a chance just because, you know, they gave them a chance. Nah, I mean, you got to work them in proper. I mean, Dean Ambrose worked in properly. Seth Rollins worked in properly. You know, they were developed and worked in properly towards getting the title. Roman Reigns was worked into the position. So I'm not just for get New Day the title shot. Nah, I'm not with that. Nah, it wouldn't make. You got to make it make sense, bro. You got to make it make sense. I'm not for it because they just black and give them opportunity now.
Oh, before I forget. I know it's a little off topic, but me and you talked about this not too long ago about the female match. Somebody just confirmed it. They're looking at having all four of them win the title at the same night, and it's going to spark up the 4 Horsemen versus the 4 Horsewomen.
Rodney Mack and Teddy Long's gimmick was something that could have went a long way, but Vince decided to cut that off. Actually,
White Boy Challenge.
Boy Challenge as well, but no one really. What the
hell was the White Boy Challenge?
I guess it was maybe some of you. I think it was the gimmick that Rodney Mack was doing with Teddy Long, but what does that have to do with this particular topic though? I'm trying to follow you, Christian, because I don't understand.
Reggie, that wasn't CM Punk. That was Dolph Ziggler. That was Dolph Ziggler that was doing that. CM Punk was not with AJ Lee when that was going on. That was Dolph Ziggler. He was with at the time.
I think he talking about far as together.
No, he's talking about the faction. He's talking about that faction. Remember, that faction, AJ Lee, Dolph Ziggler, and Big E was a thing, and Big E was kind of falling off at the time too. Yeah. That Jamaican accent was some shit. Actually, I remember Triple H called him out on that. He said, "Was he supposed to be Jamaican?" When the accent went out on him for a second because he couldn't do it all the way.
Yeah, he should have told. I would have told him that, weren't you supposed to be British?
Oh shit, I remember that. Yeah, the curtsy.
Hunter Helmsley.
Yeah, Hunter Helmsley. Yeah, I remember that.
Let's see. Okay, I'm just looking up everybody's. All these
Shawn Michaels in the creation of 316 era. So when that came out with the unicorn shit, it totally made me stop watching WWE for a while. That shit was gay, bro. I got nothing on that one.
The New Day gimmick was based off a bunch of trolling. They was doing a lot of trolling.
It really was. It really was.
More hip to social media era, YouTube, Twitter. You're all about trolls and people trolling. New Day's gimmick mainly came out of popularity with trolling. They would always troll stuff and borderline do something and basically just it was a joke. Everything they were doing was a joke. Booty-O's and pancakes was just a whole trolling gimmick. So
it really was.
They wasn't supposed to be taken as they were.
Well, I mean, hell, prime example of what a gimmick change can really do for you. Look at the Usos. Prime example of what the hell that can do. They went from nobody knew who the hell they was when they first debuted. They debuted with Tamina. All three of them had to debut at the same exact time. Then they won the tag team championships. Then Jay got hurt, and then Jimmy went to jail, and then Jay went to jail, and they were like, all right, we got to figure something else out. And that's when they came out with Uso Penitentiary. If y'all remember, what the hell? I think it was called American Alpha.
How many times? We were saying how many times they went to jail?
Jimmy went to jail 3 times, and Jay went to jail 4. So yeah, they've been in there for a minute. Because I remember Jimmy got pulled over for 2 DUIs. Jay got pulled over for several different shit, including fighting a cop not too long ago before the pay-per-view they just had. So they went to jail for a minute. So when they started talking about welcome to the penitentiary.
I just realized what Elizabeth, she said, I would call in, but I'm working on vacation plans for mine and Cal's 2-year wedding. Girl, what you mean mines and Cal's 2-year? Both of y'all are married. Why is it yours? Y'all got 2 separate marriages.
I thought they were married, bro. I thought they were married.
He said mine and Cal's. Like, you got a marriage of your own, and he got a marriage. Y'all are married, right? You working on your. I understand what she's saying.
Jerome, hold up. Okay, pause, bro. Hold up. I'm gonna hit you with some shit that you obviously probably don't know. There's several black gay wrestlers right now that's making a big name for themselves. Ain't nothing wrong with it being gay, bro. I'm just throwing it out there. They were doing it to be funny.
Ron says facts, a joke, but damn, why they put the gay-ish on the black wrestlers, though? No, they were trolling.
They were legit trolling because there was a lot of white wrestlers that did some pretty gay shit too.
Now, hood standards, we would look at that. We'll say it's kind of bogus, funny acting, but
Fruity.
they had flamboyant personalities, but can't say gay because gay was more. Let's take it back to Billy Gunn and Chuck Colombo.
Yeah.
No, now. Yeah. They were all up on each other and posing up like that was different. Or Goldust, that would be Goldust 90s. That would be perceived as more gay. But
yep.
New Day was trailing with the whole, just being goofy and silly. They would be playing around. They were trolls. They were goofs. If you look at it, they were three goofy. They were the Three Stooges basically. So. To say gay, nah.
Exactly. Like people totally forgot they came out with the Dragon Ball Z outfits on. Like all three of them are really heavy in the cosplay. So when people say, "Oh, they're gay," nah, bro, no. Because I mean, shit. If y'all remember, Broken Matt and Broken Nero. If y'all watch TNA, if y'all remember that, Matt Hardy and Jeff was always into doing high flying shit, and all of a sudden they got this Victorian fucking vampire shit going on right now that threw everybody the fuck off. Then Jeff went on ahead and did his own crazy shit that looked like some psycho shit, and then Matt Hardy looked like a generic version of fucking Sweeney Todd. So
okay, I'm trying to see the comparisons with this one, but what? How would you comparing it to?
Okay, as far as the gimmick turns, everybody's saying what New Day did was pretty much looks gay, right? Okay. Everybody's saying that because it was New Day. But when Goldust was doing it, nobody was really calling that dude gay.
Yes, they were.
Nah, not really. Like maybe in the 90s there? In the 90s? Yeah.
Oh, come on, man.
In the 90s, oh, hell yeah.
Everything.
Wait. Goldust dressed as a female in the ring.
Trust me, I was in that era. Everything that
90s, yeah, 90s Goldust was gay as fuck, yes. But now Goldust, nobody's saying that shit. Nobody's calling Goldust gay anymore. They don't. They really don't. Nobody's saying Goldust was gay these days.
Or the WWE version, updated era of Goldust. He was weird. He was just known as a weirdo. It had been established that he was a weirdo. But him doing borderline gay stuff just kind of. Like it didn't stick like it stuck in the 90s. It became kind of a norm.
In the 90s, he was doing some off the wall shit. He was wearing women's clothing and some more shit.
But the New Day, as I pretty much stamped it real good. Their gimmick was to be goofy and playful. They didn't have a gay because black folks, especially in Memphis, we give gay too much credit. Nah, they didn't do the gay stuff. Like you never seen them kissing or hugging each other. Well, they a hug as far as an embrace, but you never seen them kissing each other and doing all that. Like they do all booty dances, like playing around. But they always were playish, kiddish type of shit. Like that's what they were.
Remember that Ryback gimmick that he had with fucking Paul Heyman?
What's talking about?
When he went against CM Punk and Ryback kissed him. When Paul Heyman was in the wheelchair.
Ryback kissed too.
Ryback kissed him. Kissed Paul Heyman. Look it up. It happened, and it was weird as hell. He was like, "Yeah, you completely, all the extra shit." Like, it was like, there's a lot of shit that nobody's really talking about. For instance, what Reggie said, Tyler Breeze, Fandango, Chuck and Billy with Rico, Goldust, even Perry Saturn had a foolish stint with a mop. They had gay stints that always,
Yeah, big shout out to Gregory, man. Is going through his troubles right now with cancer, man. He's battling it out. He has some more surgery to go through.
He's about to kick cancer's ass, bro. He gonna kick cancer's ass.
I'm gonna get some more details on that. I mean, I reached out to some of them. Ain't nobody hit me back. I need more details on what's going on before I even put stuff out there. He said hands down that shit was fruity as hell. Grown men don't do that fruity-ish.
I guess he hasn't seen Sonny wrestle yet, has he?
Who?
Sonny. Lucha Underground and TNA. You've seen Sonny wrestle before, I'm pretty sure. If you watch Lucha Underground, you've seen Sonny wrestle before.
You talking about the black dude?
Yep. Blonde hair.
Oh, he so is.
Yeah.
I can't watch it. That's just.
But Sonny's gay in real life though too, so that's what I'm saying. Like he's saying that, but he really doesn't know. Hell, Darren Young was gay. Actually, still is gay and wrestled, and nobody said a thing about it.
Well, what Jerome's touching on is not the fact issue that they're gay. He's talking about like Darren Young. You wouldn't have known Darren Young was gay unless he was told to you. So
When he first debuted, you knew that man was gay.
Representation of black males in WWE. That's what Jerome's issue with that is, the representation of he didn't like the fact that New Day were goofy. And if you look at a lot of let's go. Matter of fact, since you want to talk about it, Jerome, let me help you out. D-Generation X. I was gonna post some of this stuff, but let's go back to D-Generation.
Velveteen Dream's another one.
Hold on.
Forgot about him too.
That's kind of known. Everybody knows about Clark anyway. But let's go to D-Generation X. D-Generation X did some very questionable things. Shawn Michaels kissed Triple H. Shawn Michaels and Triple H, they always being behind each other. He chopping for him. He going up under him doing it. Him looking at him, complimenting him on his penis and stuff. Like, come on, man. But you love D-Generation X. Now look, Jason. Jason, like, watch this. Jerome ain't finna say he was a D-Generation X fan now. Oh no, I ain't like that. But D-Generation X did some of the gayest shit you've ever seen.
Oh my God, bro! I swear they did. They legit did.
I deny that. So
that's facts.
So if you want to talk about New Day, well then let's talk about D-Generation X. They did some of the gayest things.
Clarence said Velveteen Dream has a Prince gimmick. No, he does not. That is what you see is actually what you get. He legit is like that. He's a fucking peacock. All right. Like real shit. Actually, not a lot of people know this, but him and Leo Rush actually used to be a really strong tag team before they both got the main call up. He even confirmed it.
They into the Indies, yeah.
Yeah, when it was get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Everyone was a fan of D-Generation X. Man, lying out his ass. Everybody I know is a fan of D-Generation X.
I don't believe it. So you mean
exactly, Reggie? Yeah, the Raw when they both were new as well.
We was at a WWE show right now, and all of a sudden
that man would get hyped as hell if you hear "Are you ready?" That man would have got bumping, doing this and all this extra shit like everybody else did. Man, lying out his ass.
I remember high school days where you was throwing up the DX, you throwing up the Wolfpack, you was throwing up either one.
Look, this was the thing. If you was in high school or middle school in the 90s or elementary school, 1 to 3, you did one of these things. You either flipped someone off, you did the DX chalk, you did the fucking Shawn Michaels shit, the muscle shit, or you did the Rock basically saying come here, or if you're a Bret Hart fan, you did his shit, which was very rare.
They channeled DX on a lighter note. DX was being degenerate. Now DX. Now let me put it in perspective. As far as the people they understand when I say DX on the gayer doing the gayish type things, they were trolling. They were trolling before trolling was cool to do. They were being degenerates. They were playing on being all fruity and they're doing stuff and making comments about women and sexual parts. They were trolling. Now, as far as the reality of it, I don't know. I don't. There's some other stuff I don't know. But they were trolling with each other. But it was a lot of things they were doing were as a guy code would say, man, that's some gayish weirdo. Oh, that's some weirdo stuff. Wasn't gayish type stuff. But yeah.
Wait, not a DX group. You're still a fan of D-Generation X. This is what the point we're trying to make. What I'm saying is, if D-Generation X came out, you would still get hyped about it.
Prime example, I think if Jerome wasn't really a D-Generation, he would have threw D-Generation X up under the bus. He would have been said, he would say, hey, yo, well, I ain't like DX too. Now I don't believe Jerome. Not for instance, no. I don't believe him on that.
I don't know not one person that did not like D-Generation X. And I mean, I'm talking about like diehard fans of wrestling will flat out tell you the greatest tag team of all time is D-Generation X.
Everybody reacted to D-Generation X. I don't know not one person that did not react to
D-Generation. I'm sorry, my favorite one was the Tank. When him and Shawn Michaels, when Shawn Michaels came back, when it gets legacy, shit was beast. Okay. But real quick before I forget, remember when me and you talked about the girls match? Charlotte, Becky Lynch, and Ronda?
Yeah, I was hearing you. I was hearing you trying to talk about this.
You had that idea.
Bullshit.
They confirmed it today.
Who
Either they're
confirmed?
gonna do your idea. WWE is either one or two. It's gonna be two different stipulations.
You said something about four. Oh, okay, go ahead. What you talking?
Okay, so you have Becky Lynch and Charlotte going against Ronda. We all know that's gonna happen. But what people also forgot about was Sasha Banks and Bayley have the tag team title at that same night. So what they're gonna more than likely, what it looks like they're gonna do is have Bayley and Sasha win, keep the belts, and then you have the main event go down. It looks like Becky Lynch is probably going to go on ahead and tap out Ronda. That way all four of them can have the belts. 4 horsewomen win the belts. It builds up to something else. Now, I don't know if that's actually going to happen, but if it does, okay, cool, whatever. It could possibly set up the 4 horsewomen. I don't see it happening.
How they going to give all 4 women the belts?
Tag championships, right? And then you have Becky going ahead and pin Ronda. Charlotte's still SmackDown champ. All 4 of them now have championships.
What's that? What's that sound? What is that? What is this sound? What's that music? I don't understand. What is that music? What is that music? Jerome, I know you marking out right now. Cut the break, man. Break it down.
Ember Moon is injured right now.
Break it down.
Ember Moon is injured, so they can't do anything with somebody that is currently injured right now. She was supposed to get a main push, but it never happened.
I'm sorry. I had to do that.
Hey, it happens. But Clarence, you brought up Ember Moon. This is like the 10th time you brought this girl up. She is injured right now. She is hurt. I don't remember exactly what it is that she did, but she is hurt.
He wants Ember Moon to die. He want to come back.
Like here's the deal. I agree with you, Reggie. She's not being used to her fullest potential, but here's the issue with that. I'll explain to you why. She came in at a time where there was really no use for her. There was no need for her to go main roster at that time. Who the hell is she going to wrestle? Real shit. Who can she really rival against right now that's going to give her a big enough pop to where she can go on ahead and get a belt? Name one person.
I mean, to be honest with you, Ember Moon should have been placed into a faction. Let's be honest with you. Far as her
I would have loved the faction with her and Naomi, or hell, her and Asuka would have been a great faction, honestly. But that's just me. Shit. Honestly, if they get Kairi Sane to come into the main roster along with Io, that would have been great.
Coming in, no, that wouldn't have made no sense. Her and Asuka being a faction wouldn't have made any sense for the fact that there was no tag team titles. Now her coming back.
Now that the tag team titles involved.
Now that those are present, now it makes sense.
See, you say that, but there's no title, so it really wouldn't make any sense for them to do it, because at that time it was a build-up for Asuka's undefeated streak, but since Charlotte kind of went to her shit, there's no need for it.
Jerome asked the question, if you watched WCW back then, today, which one were more... Why would we have the shoes on this one? Why you ask that question, man? Like,
everybody... I really just asked. I was back and forth. I'm going to bring up one moment of all time that I will never forget. And when I say this to you, I'm pretty sure you're going to laugh. Do you remember that match that was for Botcha? This is how Botchamania even got started, okay? It was a match with Kevin Nash and Goldberg. And Goldberg got so pissed off that he walked out the ring and went into the back. He got mad and said, fuck this, walked out the ring and went in the back and just said, I'm done. Because the match was so poorly done.
Big 6. I mean, I think they're having a...
that's what they're doing. They're doing it at WrestleMania. Yeah, that's what they're doing at WrestleMania. That's already happening.
Yeah, that's more like what they're doing already, Clarence.
Yeah, they already got that planned out already, because Beth Phoenix is coming out of retirement and teaming up with Natalya for them to do it. So
found you pulling that thing strong. We find out, Clarence.
I need to know what the hell that man smoking because he be saying some off the wall shit sometimes. It's funny as hell.
That's my guy, Clarence.
Like when he came out of nowhere with that Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley shit, I was like, man, it could have happened. Ain't gonna happen now. Shit, Brock is in too much knee deep shit right now. Owes way too much money, so it ain't gonna happen.
But you know what? But Clarence is right about something. Into the comments, Clarence said Velveteen has a Prince gimmick, and that is true. That's true. Because I noticed you jumped on him, but Prince had that type of attitude.
Can we say that's Prince?
Even with guys, Prince would give off that vibe. They're like, "What are you doing?" Like Prince would fuck with you, and you'd be like,
"Yeah, true." Actually, first off, Prince the only dude I know where he was like, "Still your bitch," so you know. Well, I mean, if that's the case, he gave what about Nakamura? What about Nakamura?
Clarence was on.
Nakamura had a Prince Michael Jackson vibe when he first debuted. Even in Japan, he had that Prince and Michael Jackson vibe. He did. If you looked at his storyline, you looked at how his personality was, it was like that.
You're talking about Nakamura's charisma. We talking about his personality and
I'm talking about personality. I'm not talking about charisma. I'm talking about personality. He legit would act like MJ at one point, and another point he would act like Prince. So now WWE standpoint, they didn't really use that. NXT they did, but actual main roster did not.
So you mean to tell me Nakamura was doing stuff where somebody would be there and he'll basically slide behind him and get all up on him or try to near grope him?
He did it in New Japan. No, he did it in New Japan. I don't know if he did it with NXT.
Okay, we talking about in this world. I don't know.
Now I don't know. Now I doubt it. But Velveteen Dream did do some shit. Because I ain't gonna lie, that Aleister Black storyline was probably my favorite.
Dream, he channeled his inner Prince and his inner Goldust. It happened. He does it. He still does it. So
the man got some insane in ring ability too. I'm glad he's champ. Is he still champ?
Who?
Velveteen Dream. Is he still champ?
I don't keep up with NXT. That man, I try to, but they too much for me.
They got too much shit. They got too much shit going on.
It's too much. For one, it's too much wrestling content. But yeah, as y'all can see, people, we pretty much got with the whole Billy Graham situation. I hope you all got your understanding from our points of views. Hopefully you got. Let me get this heavy ass championship title off of me. Hope you guys.
It's weird because they don't look like they're that fucking heavy, and then when you finally have you, like shit.
Yeah, that's some heavy.
Oh, yo, guess who might be coming to the WWE?
15 green, purple, light color. We get it, Clarence. We got it. We got it, Clarence.
We got it. He's Prince. He's Prince reincarnated.
I thought I just jammed that in. I just jammed it in. We got it. We understand. Nailed it.
No Vaseline. Yo, but guess who might be coming to the WWE? Apparently.
Please don't tell me about the football player or if you're talking about UFC and
wait. What football player are you talking about to come to the WWE?
Rob Gronkowski.
Oh, man, fuck Gronk. Yeah, he probably is. But I mean, you probably got that. You had got that preview anyways at one of the. I forgot which WrestleMania it was where he came in and just.
It's already the talks have began, and of course I know what's his name?
McNuggets, McChicken Sandwich. Yeah, he's looking at trying to come into the WWE, which is probably the dumbest fucking idea he could have done.
Who's McNuggets?
Oh, okay. You don't know.
Oh,
Habib Nurmagomedov calls Conor McGregor McChicken McNugget. That's what he calls him. Yeah, that's his thinking for it. Which is the dumbest fucking thing he could ever fucking do because he still has fights on his contract. He has 3 fights on his contract he is yet to do.
Well, I mean, like I said, it doesn't matter to me. However it goes, if it happens, it happens. It'd be nice to see him. In some, hopefully, I don't know how they're gonna push.
Apparently, Finn Balor said that he's gonna come to the WWE or some shit, and I'm like, there's no need for that.
I was about to say that I don't really have a point of some of these guys like Rob Gronkowski. I have to really, you have to sell me on that one.
He's a little bit more understandable. He's a little more understandable.
You have to sell me on. We have to get there when we get there, okay. But
Gronk, I can sell you on another time, but him is more understandable to Connor. Gronk, you can use as a big guy. He can be another big guy coming in as a powerhouse. You know, has a bunch of accolades and shit like that. Team him up with Mojo Rawley since they know each other. Build him up in NXT, kind of that way he can kind of get a basis on what the hell he needs to do. It gives Mojo Rawley a chance to finally come back and do something special. Give him a nice little push. Make him the tag team champions maybe within another year or two. That'd be nice.
Billy Graham, if this is real, if what you did was real, yeah.
Fuck you.
That was a dumb thing.
That was the
but
dumbest fucking thing ever.
I don't know if it was I don't really, like I said before, I don't believe it maybe I really do agree with
that's a mixed bag.
My good friend Robert.
I feel like it's a mixed bag.
I think it was just a stunt to add on to what WWE is doing. I think WWE has approved of that goal to make it more of a persevering thing for Kofi Kingston. Because I'm pretty sure now considering if Kofi responds, if Kofi says something, if they make a report, I don't know. I haven't seen the post things like that. If Kofi responds, then I know that okay, this is all a part of a work. But we'll see. But if this
Keith
is
Lee got a lot of work to do before he gets main roster, homie.
If what Graham
he has
said,
a lot of work to do.
If what Graham said is true, then if that's genuinely from him, then yeah, he's of course a bona fide asshole. And I do take it as a biased situation against the black man because it doesn't make any sense. There's too many other examples of other guys that have went for the title and that have been in it. And we haven't
he
found
easily could have used, man. He didn't use not one person.
Evidence of him doing treatments like this towards the guys that we mentioned, far as that have been considered to be of a lesser weight then. So I want to thank everybody.
He's about a good 10 example. So.
Wrestle Talk Media Radio. Most definitely like Wrestle Talk Media Radio. Go to the group. If you have anything that especially for my wrestlers and anybody that wants to be a part, Wrestle Talk Media promotions. You want to be mentioned. You got an event coming up. You want to be mentioned. You want to be interviewed. Contact me, Jason Todd, Wrestle Talk Media, Scott. There's a lot of us that will grant you an interview and in depth. Posted on Wrestle Talk Media, posted on Wrestle Talk Media, the group radio group page, and also for the YouTube page. YouTube page is now at I think like 11,000 some odd subscribers. That's on the YouTube page. So if you do want to be placed there too as well, your interview will be placed there as well. So jump aboard, and we are out.